Welcome and let your journey to soul expansion begin. I'm your host, Kristen Kaczynski. This show will take you on a journey of expansion, encouraging you to release the limitations of your mind and lean into the wisdom of your soul. Remembering who you are on a soul level will help you release your conditioning, expectations, limiting beliefs, fears, and worries, and evoke a life expanded by your energetic alignment. Whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow your income and impact, or someone who knows in your heart of hearts that you're made for more, this podcast will help you awaken the power that's already inside of you, allowing you to attract an easy flow of money, clients, opportunities, and fulfillment. In each episode, you'll learn something new, expand your consciousness, and you'll walk away with a glimpse of what's truly possible for you. If you're ready to follow your soul's calling and live a more expansive life, you're in the right place. Welcome, and let your journey to soul expansion begin.
Did you know that you get to choose how money behaves for you? This is a concept that may feel triggering if currently money is not behaving in the way that you would like it to. If that's the case for you, then you of all people are someone I definitely want to listen to this episode, because I'm going to change the way that you think about money. So you heard me talk about earlier this week in our Love and Money series in the first episode, Love Yourself to Overflow. You heard me talk about how money is responding to how deeply we love ourselves, to how we value ourselves. And something that comes along with that is our personal boundaries with money. Another way of thinking of this concept of personal boundaries with money is your standards or what you accept for yourself, right? And we all have personal standards of what we accept for ourselves, or another way of putting it, of what seems to be true for us over and over again, what seems to be normal and expected for us. We all have these personal standards with money. Some of them we definitely did not choose. It was projected onto us. We were conditioned to believe it. It came through because of family money dynamics, because of trauma with money. There's a lot of different ways we can unconsciously receive our personal money standards. But today, my friend, you have the power to choose some new and better money standards. So the way I want you to think about your standards with money is, first you need to evaluate where you're at right now, right? So like, how does money behave for you? Especially as a business owner, I want you to dive deep into all the ways money is behaving for you. How do you believe it can show up for you? When do you believe it can show up for you? How much can you receive at a time? When you haven't received some, what's the belief about when it can come in again? When you reinvest in yourself, how much can you receive? When you, have some extra money that comes in at the beginning of the month, then what do you believe about the rest of the month? What are your current beliefs about how money can come in, when it can come in, how much can come in at a certain time, where it stays, right? Like, do you have beliefs about if money can stay, or if it all has to go away really quickly because of all the bills? Do you have money beliefs that expand to how time is related, right? Like, I had a lot of beliefs about the timing of things and how money and time were connected in some way. But the truth of the matter is, these were just personal standards I had established for myself unconsciously with respect to money. Where do we get these standards from, right? Like, we get them from society, we get them from each other, from our community, we get them from our parents, we get them from our childhood, we get them from our friends, we get them from college, we get them from, wherever we've been conditioned by money, that's where we got these personal standards from. And so if we want to take our power back with our money, we have to realize that we can choose to change these standards. We can choose to change these boundaries from a place of love. So here's what I don't mean. If right now you're in a state of having not enough or just enough, where money is always running out, where there's debt and the debt is growing, and meanwhile your savings is non-existent or dwindling, if you're in that state, you cannot create change with your relationship with money from an energy of anger, bitterness, resentment, hatred, or any other negative emotion, right? And so if you are feeling some of those things toward money, what I'm going to encourage you to do is go back to episode 45, where we talk about forgiveness and letting go. And I actually provided a guided meditation for you. And do this guided meditation with money, right? Maybe with money and then also with yourself. And then if there's any other like people that you have kind of entangled up in your mind as being reasons why money doesn't work for you. Like I had lots of entanglements with previous mentors because of the money I invested and then didn't get the results. And I had all this bitterness about that money that I had invested. And so I had to do a lot of forgiveness work around people, around past clients that didn't pay, around myself, and around money directly. So if you are in a state where like you're angry and you're in like this really negative emotional state with your money, go back and do some forgiveness work, because we can't create change from a state of negative emotion. After you do that forgiveness work, or if you're in some sort of like state of neutrality right now, then comes the fun part. Then we get to set some new standards. So if you look at your list of beliefs, and I'm going to encourage you, if you're not able to do so now, then definitely come back to this episode, set aside time on your calendar to go in your notes app or to write in your journal all of your current beliefs about money and how it works for you. Please do that exercise. What I want you to do now, after you have all of those beliefs of these unconscious personal standards that you've had with money, is I want you to set your new standards. And how do we do this? Through clarity of what they are and through deciding. That's too simple, right? You may be listening to this and be like, fuck you, it can't be that easy. And there are times in my own money mindset journey where I believe the same thing, and it can take lots of inner work. So I'm not going to discount that, right? But I want you to play with this. I want you to try it. I want you to experiment with it. What could go wrong if you simply try to decide and get your energy behind some new standards with money? As a listener of the Soul Expansion podcast, you know how impactful our unconscious or subconscious thoughts can be, especially when it comes to attracting, receiving, keeping, having, and holding money. And one of the best ways to start to reprogram your unconscious mind is through the power of clinical hypnotherapy. And as a special treat to podcast listeners, I have a free money mindset hypnosis just for you, which is going to allow you to let go of beliefs that are currently holding you back when it comes to attracting money. Hypnosis, by the way, is not mind control. It's not voodoo, scary magic. It's really just allowing you to go into a light trance where you're super relaxed and your unconscious mind is open to receive suggestions. So you can rest assured when you listen to the Money Mindset Hypnosis, you are safe, you are protected, you are loved, and your subconscious mind is so powerful that if there is a suggestion that for some reason doesn't align with your values, it'll automatically reject it. So you're not being controlled by the mind. You're only allowing yourself to receive new beliefs at the subconscious level that are supportive for your money goals. So if you want to get your hands on the Money Mindset Hypnosis, go to mymoneyhypnosis.com. Again, it's completely free. You just enter your email address and you get an instant download, and you can start reprogramming your unconscious mind for all the monies starting today. So again, it's mymoneyhypnosis.com, and I hope you love it. At the worst case scenario, you will be in the exact same scenario you're in right now, right? So what's the harm in giving this a try, even if you're a little resistant to it? How do you want money to behave for you? And if we're coming from this energy of love, right? So I like to think of this in terms of relationships. So how do you want your partner to treat you? And when I think of that, I think of my husband, of course. And I think to myself, well, I love the relationship I have with my husband. I feel so stable, so secure, so supported, so loved, so appreciated by him. Okay, why do I feel that way? Well, he's reliable. He comes home on time after work every day to me and is happy to see me. right? He's not like unpredictable and like going to these random happy hours without telling me. So that's like one value that I really cherish and love and like feel safe with my husband. So now how can I apply this to money? Super easy. Okay, money is now as amazingly reliable and dependable as my husband, and I can expect and trust that it will show up for me every single day. And actually, since I've like been working with this belief system, it has been true for me for a period of time where like every single day I'm getting like at least a little bit of abundance, a little bit of money coming through. And now I'm just trying to even grow that standard on a daily basis because I like getting money every day. Who doesn't? So now I'm trying to expand that daily abundance. So it's like, you know, instead of some days getting 5,000 and some days getting 10,000 and some days getting $100 and some days getting, you know, $50. Now I'm expanding the consistency along with the reliability and along with the amounts. So my new personal goal that I'm working towards is at an energetic minimum, every single day I want to receive $1,000 per day. And like there are times in my business where I get like I said, you know, 8,000 and 5,000 in a day, and then I'll get 500 and then I'll get 100, and all of that money is amazing and I am so grateful for all of it. But like a new edge for me is feeling into this possibility of what if I could be paid $1,000 minimum every single day and then still also get those bigger cash injections when clients pay in full or when I'm doing more of like a formal launch or something. So play with that. What do you want to be true for you about how reliable, how dependable, and how much of money gets to show up for you every single day? And notice my language here. I said how much money gets to show up for you. What I didn't say was how much money has to show up for you or how much money you need to show up for you, because that's not really coming from this energy of love, right? Like when we're coming from this energy of love, it's like, oh, I get to do that because I love you. Oh, I get to experience that because we have such a deep appreciation for each other and so much respect and this mutual love. And so if you're coming from this like mutual respect and love with money, we always want to come from this energy of, I get to receive that because I am so deeply loved by money and I love money too, right? Like I get to experience $1,000 cash every single day of my life and then some because money loves me so much. And I am so grateful for that, right? So you can play with like your frequency for how much you want money to come in for you. I like daily because I like to see that cash money every day. But maybe you like weekly, maybe you like monthly. For me, because I had a lot of limiting beliefs around timing, it actually is very supportive for my money mindset if I focus on daily goals instead of monthly goals. Because then with the month, when it's stretched out across like a longer period of time, I tend to get in my head about like if there's a gap, and I kind of like, you know, get into some scarcity energy. But if I focus on, ooh, no, every single day I get to receive money, then it's like I can't get in my head because I'm getting money every day. And I just get to build, you know, that amount to be more and more and more. And of course, there's going to be some days where I'm going to get a lot more and other days where I'm going to get my energetic minimum there. But I get to play with that energy of like always being in this flow of abundance. So feel free to take that as one of your new personal standards if you'd like to try that on. Another personal standard you might want to play with besides frequency is your minimum, like the minimum that you expect from love that money will provide for you, right? So like for me, the minimum that I expect from my husband is that every week we have a fun date night together where we get out of the house. And that's just expected. That's known. That's predictable, right? And so what do you want to come to expect from money in terms of like your minimum amount of experiencing them every single day or month or every quarter or every year, whatever feels like the right time cadence for you. And then another thing you might want to play with is how money shows up for you. So this has been a big area of expansion for me. I used to think, oh, money only comes from me having a conversation with someone in the DMs about my programs. And if I didn't do that today, then money can't come in today. Do you hear yourself in that limiting belief? So some of my new standards and new boundaries and new beliefs with money are that money comes in regardless of what I'm doing, right? So I can be, walking the dog. I can be sleeping. I can be taking a poo. I can be working out. I don't have to actively be doing something in order to receive money. And this is true, number one, because of my expansive beliefs and my energy around money, but it's also true because of the systems I have set up in my business. So it's fully possible that people can pay me at any second of the day. And I'm expanding my ability to believe that that's possible for me without my direct involvement, right? And I'm happy to talk to people about my programs. It's not that I don't want to talk to people on a one-to-one basis, but I don't want to have the belief that that is required in order for me to receive money. And I used to have that limiting belief. So how money can come in for you? Maybe another area where you play with standards. And then besides amount, I would also play with the attunement of where your money is in your overall net worth energy, right? So I have an attunement of money always shows up on time in full for me to follow my current system of wealth and pay all my bills on time and in full. That is the energy I attune myself to. And so what does that mean? So sometimes if there's been a gap in my business where I'm not receiving the kind of money that I have come to know and expect, I have to decide again, no, this is what I expect of money. I refuse to get money out of savings to pay this bill. I will not miss this payment. I refuse to ask anyone for money. What I expect is for that money to come, and I know it will come, and I know it will come, and it's already here, and I know it's here. Right? So it's sometimes you do have to uphold these standards when your physical world doesn't quite look like your energetic world. So that's something to be aware of as you're setting these standards. It's not that you'll set the standard once and then everything will be magically different. In some cases it will be. I set a standard for myself that if I use money out of savings, it gets replenished quickly. And I experienced an instantaneous shift on that one for some reason. So that one was really easy for me to, embody. But other standards have taken me a little bit longer to get my energy behind. For example, getting money every single day. That took longer for me to feel possible with, or receiving money even if I'm not doing something. That took a little bit of longer to integrate, right? And you have to uphold your standards. So as you set your standards for how you want money to behave for you, you have to decide that that is the truth for you from this point forward, no matter what. Where we get into trouble with an exercise like this is we'll set the standard and then our nervous system will freak out and we'll get into a place of fear and scarcity, and then we'll abandon the standard and do what we normally do and expect what we normally expect and assume that this type of thing just doesn't work for us. So there's an element of being able to hold yourself in the unknown. There's an element of being able to hold yourself in the uncertainty. There's an element of being able to have faith in what you can't see yet when you're doing something like this. And it is so fucking worth your time. It is so fucking worth your energy because you will start to see the shifts happen with your money. So that is what I have for you today in the Love and Money series, setting loving boundaries with money. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is not coming from the energy of fuck you, money, you got to show up for me now. You got to do this, and this for me. You haven't been here enough, right? You can already tell the energy of that is money is not going to want to respond to you if you're in that energy. If money were a person, they would be bye bitch, I don't care. Fuck you, So we have to be in a place of neutrality with money and love for money to where we can shift into this energy of, I love you so much, money, and this is my new expectation for how this relationship is going to go. And I just know that you are so amazing and you love me so much and I love you so much. And I know we'll both be so much happier if we operate in this way moving forward. Right? Like you feel the difference in that energy. So I encourage you to set your loving boundaries with money. And next week, we're continuing the Love and Money series here on the Soul Expansion Podcast. So make sure you're subscribed if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. Also, if you're loving this series, please share it with a friend. I know it can be supportive for everyone that you know who is interested in money mindset. So I would love if you could spread the wealth there. What are we learning next week? So next week on Tuesday, we are going to be talking about, I love this topic, letting money worship you. That's a vibe, right? So we're going to shift into this deep embodied worthiness, this deep embodied Vixen energy, I like to call it. And I do have a program named Vixen that dives deeper on all of this. But I'm going to be giving you a little preview of what that's like in next week's episode. So hit that subscribe button and I will talk to you then. Love you so much. Bye for now.
Thank you for honoring your soul's calling today and taking the time to listen to this episode of the Soul Expansion Podcast. If you have a question you'd like featured or have a topic idea, I would love to hear from you. Find me on Instagram at Kristen Kaczynski and send me a DM with your request. Remember, you are a truly limitless being. The limits you see now are only an illusion. Whatever it is that you desire, that's already yours. It already exists in the universe here and now. You simply have to awaken to what you already have. And I hope this episode brought you a little closer to that truth. If you love this episode and would like to give from your heart and appreciation, please take a few moments to screenshot it and tag me in your stories on Instagram, or write a brief review on your favorite podcast platform. Your voice truly matters, and your feedback helps to spread abundant expansion to a broader audience. And what a gift that is, right? Just think about how much abundance will come back to you if you help a friend experience their own soul expansion. And with that, I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Kristen Kaczynski, and I love you.